Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the second day of the Lyceum Project 2026. My name is Marios Daphnoumilis, Foresight Advisor at the Special Secretariat of Strategic Foresight within the Presidency of the Hellenic Government. Today, we continue exploring Entangled Intelligence, Animate, Ancestral, Artificial. How do these three forms of intelligence might come together to help us build a life-affirming future? I have the pleasure to call on stage Ms. Alexandra Mitsotaki, President and co-founder of the World Human Forum.
Good morning. It's my real pleasure to see some of you again. Some others were not with us yesterday to continue the conversation we started yesterday. But I felt I wanted to start with a little story to tell you how we came up with that theme and why it is so important to us at the World Human Forum. We have been working for many years now from ancient sites in Greece, Delphi, the island of Delos, an open museum, Aristoteles Lyceum, Elefsina. And through our work, particularly our work from the island of Delos, we realized that at this time of technology, amazing progress, huge potential of science and technology, we needed to be reminded that there was something else. There was another AI, the first AI, the very first AI, which is ancestral intelligence. That's how we started talking about two AIs needing to come together in order to find the wisdom to address the challenges of our time. The story started in Delos because that's where we created a project we call Alpha Mission Delos. And the mission of Delos is to remind the world why Delos? Because that's where two gods of Greek mythology were born, Apollo and Artemis. And this might ring a bell to you all, not only as the gods of Greek antiquity, of Greek mythology, but also because it is the names of those gods that NASA chose to bring the first human beings to the moon. And we felt that when NASA decides to use the name of our mythological gods, then we have the obligation, I would say, the responsibility to remind the world of this ancient wisdom. That's how the term of ancestral intelligence came to be used by us and by more and more people around the world. What about animate intelligence? When I shared this concept with a friend of mine, a partner who is here today and who will close the conversation this evening, Jeremy Lent, he told me, I love your ancestral intelligence, but don't forget, there's another one, animate intelligence. And it was for me like, oh my God, yes, this is really important. And over the last 2 years, I've been thinking about how to bring this into the conversation. And then my friend, and where is she, Mirto Vunatsu, and partner in the World Human Forum, mentioned to me that she read the book, Entangled Life by Sheldrick, on the life of fungi. And while we were thinking about how to bring together those three AIs, suddenly we felt we knew. We wanted to make them entangled. And that's what led to the theme of this conference. And here I want to thank Vangelis Karkaletsis, Demokritos and his team, Maria Dayoglu, because as soon as we came to them with that proposal, they understood it, they embraced it, they adopted it, and they were the most amazing partners to make it come true. And that happened also with our partners from Harvard University, from the Columbia Center in Greece, and from all our academic partners, from our friends from Oxford. Everybody understood and liked this idea and was excited about developing further this idea. And I will close now by telling you just that this is only the beginning. I spoke yesterday about the need to regenerate the Lyceum of Aristotle. We believe in this. It's not going to happen from one day to the next. It will need new concepts, new ideas, new partnerships, and this is what we are building. So you are part of this journey. I want to thank you, and I look forward to today. Thank you.
So before we continue this morning's session, I'd like to take a moment to thank the partners and sponsors whose support makes the Lyceum Project possible. None of what we've already experienced and none of what's still to come over these 2 days would happen without them. Thank you for standing behind this conversation about Animate, Ancestral, and artificial intelligence. The floor is yours for a few words. I have the pleasure to call on stage Ms. Gianna Andronopoulou, General Manager for Microsoft Greece, Cyprus, and Malta.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. Let's see how technology can empower entangled intelligence that we heard before from Alexandra. When people talk about the future, the conversation often begins with technology. And of course, the question of what technologies we are building is an important one. An equally important question, though, is what kind of societies we want these technologies to serve. The defining challenge of our time is not simply artificial intelligence. It is trust. Trust that our data is protected. Trust that our institutions remain resilient. Trust that innovation strengthens democratic values rather than undermines them. And trust that Europe can embrace technological progress without giving up control over its future. This is why digital sovereignty has become one of the most important conversations taking place across the world today. At Microsoft, we believe digital sovereignty is not ultimately about nationality. It is about control, trust, resilience, and accountability. It means ensuring that governments, organizations, and citizens know where their data resides, who manages those data, who can access those data, and under which laws it operates. Europe's objectives are best served through European governance, European legal oversight, and European operational accountability. At the same time, Europe benefits from open, competitive, trusted ecosystems that give business and institutions access to the very best technologies available. That is not a theoretical discussion. As AI becomes more powerful and more integrated into our economies and societies, questions that once seemed technical are rapidly becoming matters of national resilience, economic competitiveness, and democratic confidence. That is why Microsoft has made clear commitments across Europe. We have committed to expanding cloud and AI infrastructure, strengthening safeguards that protect data, and ensuring continuity of service even during times of geopolitical instability. Our goal is simple: to be a source of digital stability when stability matters most. And these commitments are already translating into tangible outcomes. They mean more digital capacity. They mean stronger cybersecurity. They mean greater choice and resilience for governments and organizations. They also mean investing in infrastructure designed for the long term. Across Europe, including Greece, we are building data centers that use advanced cooling and efficiency technologies to reduce pressure on local resources, while supporting the digital capacity that modern societies need. Innovation can happen locally on Europe's terms while remaining connected to global ecosystems of knowledge and opportunity. But sovereignty is only one part of the story. The second part is responsibility. Every technological revolution raises an important question. How do we ensure progress benefits everyone? We believe communities should not bear the cost of technological advancement. Economic growth and innovation must go hand in hand with sustainability, inclusion, and long-term societal value. This principle guides how we design and operate our infrastructure. It guides our investments in renewable energy, our efforts to reduce emissions and resource consumption. Our support for skills development is crucial for our societies to continue this new era, and workforce transformation, and our commitment to achieving our sustainability goals, including becoming carbon negative, water positive, and zero waste by 2030. It also shapes how we think about AI itself. AI is not valuable simply because it's powerful. AI is valuable when it helps people accomplish more, when it helps public administration serve citizens more effectively, when it enables better healthcare outcomes, when it strengthens education, when it accelerates scientific discovery, and when it helps solve challenges that previously seemed beyond our reach as humanity. What matters now is not whether AI has potential. This is increasingly evident. The question is how we ensure that its benefits are sustained, shared broadly, and aligned with the values that define our societies. We heard about Ancestral intelligence as well before by Alexandra. That requires transparency, accountability, legal commitments, and operational safeguards. It requires technology companies to play an active role, not just in innovation, but in the impact this innovation creates. This has been our approach for decades, and it becomes even more important in the age of AI. Maybe the greatest risk facing the world and Europe specifically is not simply getting AI wrong. It is failing to seize the opportunity in front of us. Every generation is defined by a handful of transformative technologies. AI is one of them. Will Europe help shape this future? What is ultimately at stake is not only competitiveness. It is the opportunity available to Europe's young people, the researchers, entrepreneurs, engineers, creators, and future leaders who will build the next generation of ideas, businesses, and institutions. We need to ensure that they inherit not only Europe's values, as we heard before, but also the foundations and opportunities to shape what comes next. So as we look ahead, I remain optimistic. Optimistic because Europe is approaching this moment with clarity about its values. Optimistic because governments, institutions, business, and citizens are engaging seriously with the opportunities and responsibilities that AI presents. Optimistic because we have a once-in-a-generation opportunity to build a future that is innovative, secure, resilient, inclusive, and based on our values. A future where technology serves people, where sovereignty enables innovation rather than limiting it, and where trust becomes the foundation upon which Europe's next chapter of growth and competitiveness is built. Thank you.